this team, this freaking team, and this guy right here, he did not throw game before Sunday. He's now has 7 in less than a week. Less than a week. He has vaulted himself into the MVP discussion. I don't care what you say. He has vaulted himself up there after tonight. I know he missed his pre-snap read. Missed a wide-open Aguilar. Missed a wide-open Jeffrey. But you know what? It's okay because the defense stepped up tonight. Nigel Bradham stepped up tonight. Fought through an injury. This team. Watch out, NFC. Philly 500 is here. I'm Adrian Fedq. Let's go.
Well, Smoking Stogie tonight. We pulled off the big win. Hello, NFC. Hello, world. The Eagles are here. The Eagles are real. Just like I said, the #1 team in the NFC. The quarterback those 3 touchdowns. He took a beating, too. He took a beating. He kept coming. Then he hit those passes. He hits Alshon. Beautiful pass. Alshon should have caught the first one, yes, but he catches the second one. Then he goes down. He scores. He takes their heart. I can't say enough about Carson Wentz. Then you look at the defense, especially Bradham. I mean, Bradham and Fletcher Cox. You don't win this game if Fletcher Cox ain't getting the push he got up the middle on. He beat the crap out of him, and it was a beautiful thing.
Great this team no chance tonight. That was merciless, brutal penetration from Fletcher Cox tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he picked the guy up. He threw him right into Cam Newton. He hits his arm. He gets an interception. I mean, he was a disruptive force every way you look at it. And to think that this guy might not have played tonight, if he doesn't play, there's at least 2 interceptions that you're not getting, in my opinion, off of Cam Newton. He really had a humongous game. I thought Nigel Bradham, I mean, to give his body up to get down on that 4th down, my gosh, dude. I mean, I have nothing but great things to say about these guys. Shut up out there! Sorry, somebody's car going.
They're happy about the win. They're excited about the win. I'm excited about the win. I mean, everybody.
Wow. The Eagles are for real. I mean, we're talking 5-1, undefeated in the conference. And we're also talking about having a mini bye, getting Darby back. You know what I mean? I mean, dude, the sky's the limit for this team. Nobody can tell me that this is not the best team in the NFC right now. In the NFC, they're the best team. And one more thing. Everybody on NFL Network, every analyst picked Carolina like it was an easy choice.
Well, you know who I picked?
Who you pick?
This guy. Right. I picked this guy over Cam Newton. I picked our receivers and our secondary over their receivers and their secondary. Carson Wentz, 3rd and 16. Are you serious? Dude, the pocket presence of that. For him to step up. For him to rifle the completion, the Mac Hollins. And then a play later, flicks it to Jeffrey.
Perfect
MVP discussion.
And this is what we talked about. We had conversations about this. If this team is going to go anywhere, this kid's got to be something. He's got to be something, and he is. I mean, what's he got? 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions on the year. I mean, this guy is definitely an MVP candidate. There's no way about it. And look, all those blitzes, I would have liked to see Doug do some things to help Carson. He didn't. But Carson learned a lot tonight. There's a lot he learned about reads and stuff. And even the play where he went to Ertz on 3rd and he had the slant, he had Alshon. He learned. He went right back and learned and saw that. So I love where we're going right now. Where we're going is it's great things, man. Tonight we got respect. We took it.
This guy. He's tied for the NFL lead in touchdowns with Aaron Rodgers. He is in his 2nd year, and he is doing incredible things. That first drive to start the second half. Oh, what a perfect way to start the second half. I'm trying to remember exactly what happened. Vinny Curry in run defense. Cox, deep penetration into the backfield. Forced Newton to go slightly to his left, and that was an incompletion. And then third down. My God. Patrick Robinson, he catches all the hard ones, but he can't catch the easy ones. But by God, it's amazing because the Eagles get the ball back. And then
that interception was amazing. That was an amazing interception. And
then this guy throws a touchdown. Yeah. And then I love it. Doug Peterson was like, "Hey, Pete Morelli, you dingbat. Come here."
Yes.
Come here. Yes. I'm going for 2.
Yes. That was what I loved. That was one of my favorite things because that's something Doug Peterson wouldn't have done last year. And he was on it, and he had the presence of mind to get that play, go for it on 2, and then run punt. All he had to do was run punt. Blunt was driving Carolina nuts. You could see how frustrated they were that they couldn't bring him down easy. I mean, I thought we should have gone to him more. Actually, you really could have gone to him more. He just demoralizes teams. He really does. He demoralizes teams, and I love it. This is amazing. This is an amazing time. You know, this is going the Eagles' ascension. This is what people are going to remember this night. I remember Cunningham at the Giants. I remember McNabb at the Giants. This is the night that the world gained respect for the Eagles and their quarterback. You watch how nationally they're going to treat the Eagles now. It's a whole different story.
Yeah. And I'm looking at the statistics. So looks like you have – so Carson Wentz took off for 6 carries. So it was really 36 design runs. Well, 1 was a sneak. So Doug did throw the ball a lot tonight. But you know what? I was okay with that because I said before the game, you know, I wanted Doug to throw the ball a lot against the secondary, James Bradbury, Darryl Worley, and Captain Munnerly. I wanted them to throw the ball. I wanted them to throw the ball a lot. And the problem with what Doug did today, now I'm not going to like hate on him today, just this, right. Just this thing right here, because he did it last year too with Big V. The first game against Washington, he didn't give him any help, and Ryan Kerrigan ate him alive. And what did Julius Peppers do? Big V, right on an island, and you know, Doug just didn't adjust. I wanted to see max protection. You know, like you're telling me that Alshon Jeffrey can't beat James Bradbury on a consistent basis? Yes, he can. I know he, you know, hey, he dropped the 1. And some are going to complain that was a PI. I don't give a shit because those are the 50-50 balls he needs to come down with. But, hey, they did what I wanted them to do. And the only complaint is the Big V thing. Other than that, I don't care.
I agree. I mean, I agree. I thought they could have done – I mean, like there was a couple times where if they could run a screen to like Blunt or to anybody, the middle linebacker, especially when Kuechly went out, was so late. When they would blitz, the middle linebacker would go to cover the running back. He was so late getting over there that if you just ran a delayed screen, he had 20, 30 yards of green space. He just had to beat one guy. And things like that I wish they would have done. You know, like you said, max protection, screens. I would like to see maybe some delayed draws, something like that. But there were opportunities for them to change things up, and they didn't. But at the same time, maybe in the long run, it'll be better because Carson's seen a lot of blitzes and a lot of things that he never seen before, and it's why he was holding on the ball so long at times too. He, you know, and it's a good learning experience in the end. You know, that's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah, I know he went 16 of 30. He wasn't perfect tonight by any means. I mean, he was high on some throws. He let balls sail, and you know, but against that pressure, constant pressure throughout the night, under duress, the entire game, he was still flipping completions under duress. So the 60 to 30, some people like Skip fucking Bayless will say that. Well, deer in headlights because he was 16 of 30. I don't give a shit about that. He threw 3 touchdowns. He completed a 3rd and 16. He flipped the completion to Jeffrey. He and Fletcher Cox were the difference makers in this game, and Nigel Bradley.
Yeah, oh, I agree. And look, when we talk about a clutch quarterback, a franchise quarterback, elite quarterbacks, in the 4th quarter, when you have to make the throw, when you have to make the play, you make it. And that's what he did. He made that 3rd and 16. He made that pass to Alshon, right? He made the plays he had to make in order for the Eagles to score to take that lead. And it was late. It was late in the second half. It was like maybe end of the 3rd, early 4th, but he made the plays. He came up big when he had to. And he took a beating. I mean, he was hit I thought he broke his arm early in the game on that one play. You know what I mean? Then to see him lower his shoulder on Adams. And did you see the hit he put on Adams at the goal line? My gosh, that's your quarterback. I mean, I gained nothing but respect for his toughness, you know what I mean, and his competitiveness tonight. That effort, that ruggedness pulled this team through, in my opinion. That with the defense.
Yeah. There was this one play, you know, it was an incompletion. Well, not an incompletion, but he came up short of the sticks. But this was a play that makes him special. This is one of those Wentz plays. So it was a 3rd and 4. He kind of sprinted out to the right, and both the receivers were perfectly covered. The defenders were also all shaded to that side. So he basically had nowhere to go. It's a 3rd and 4, and he still almost got to the sticks because of not only his elusiveness, but his toughness and his power. I mean, he's 6'5", 240, whatever he is. So, I mean, he still almost got a first down there. That's incredible.
Oh, I know, that was. And what about the one play where I think Clement drops the ball, where he shuffled pass? I mean, it was such a great play. That's very Aaron Rodgers like. I mean, that's the kind of thing you actually, it's very Favre like too. But those are the kind of things you can't teach. This kid just has. I mean, this kid's development in the 2nd year to talk about being 5-1 undefeated in your conference. It is amazing. Where this team is sitting so pretty right now, they've got to finish with a 1 or 2 seed. They got to. Anything less than that for me, I'd be upset. Be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, barring injury.
Yeah, we'll kind of get into that a little bit later because I am curious to get your thoughts on something, and it was something I brought up in my preview. So, but that'll be like 15 minutes from now. It's a good, interesting topic. All right, so. What else should we talk about? I thought that, you know, the cornerbacks stepped up even though they kind of got beat a little bit. Jalen Mills, you know, Kelvin Benjamin did have his way at times. Had his way a lot of the time, actually, at some points. But there are also plays that Jalen Mills made. Like, there was this 3rd and 3 or something like that where it was a crossing route. You have Kelvin Benjamin, who's like 240 pounds barreling on you. I don't think Mills is 200. And he made a solid tackle. And he stopped him short of the sticks. Jalen Mills' physicality is, you know, kind of sets that tone for the corners. Because, you know, they don't always make tackles because Rasul Douglas has kind of missed some lately. But Jalen Mills has kind of been solid in that sense of he might allow the catch, but he usually brings you down right after you catch it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'll tell you one other thing I also like about Jalen Mills is he has a short memory. He doesn't let things bother him. He goes on to the next play. You know what I mean? He keeps his head. There's too many times, especially with young corners, and we've seen with the Eagles problems at corners that they have, where a guy makes a mistake and then he doesn't get over it. He can't put it past, and then it just kind of snowballs and snowballs. Mills gets through things, and he lets it go, and that's what I like about him. Even on the penalties, even though they were really tic-tac penalties, he let it go, and he kept playing, and that's what I like about him. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I know that a lot of people are going to complain about the officiating. I try not to talk about it. But, you know, I'll talk about 2 plays. I'm trying to remember. So, LeGarrette Blount got flagged for a pancake block, which was kind of ridiculous. And I thought that Jeffrey that was a pass interference later on in the game. So, other than those 2 calls, you know, I'll try to stay away. I mean, I didn't think Pete Morelli did a good job tonight, but – you know, whatever. I mean, how many penalties they carry? Like this is what pissed me off, especially, was it for you not to call the Jeffrey play. That's what pissed me off because you were calling it on the Eagles all game. If you want to be ticky tack, that's fine. But when James Bradbury is literally like all over Jeffrey, you have to call that.
Yeah, you have to. I gotta say, I think the refs stunk. I gotta say,
they are dingbat of the week candidates.
I mean, the thing is like you said, there's no consistency. They call these plays. I don't even understand what they're doing. And then on the whole Barnett play, I don't even know if anybody even heard a whistle. I don't even understand what happened on that play, or if Cam just faked it and went down. I don't know, but something was not right on that play. And like you said, the Alshon should have gotten called. That should have been a penalty. There's 2 or 3 of those. And let me tell you, they were holding the Eagles' defensive ends all game. They were wrapped around. Not one offensive hold that whole game. It's hard for me to believe that a team could be putting that much pressure on Cam Newton, knocking him around, and you don't call one hold.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
But I'm not gonna.
I'm not gonna pick on the Barnett thing because I get why they called it.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't like it, but I get why. I get
it.
But it just sucks.
Barnett has to know not to hit him.
He could have, should have. Like, this is kind of the second time he's done that now. So he's got to learn from that.
Yeah, it was nice to see him come back with a sack. I think he had a sack. Yeah, and that was a big moment. So that was nice to see. I think Brandon Graham left the game. I think he was gone. I actually thought Chris.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say Chris Long came in and played pretty well, I thought, for today. He got some pressure on Cam, and I thought he stepped in and played good. But I don't know what happened to Graham.
There were so many injuries tonight. I will. Maybe I can look at it while you talk. During.
I wasn't sure.
But Jordan Hicks left. You had Mac Hollins leave. Chris Maragos, Brandon Graham. At some point, Bradham left, but he came back. If there were more, I don't know. But I want to. I'm going to look at what's going on. You go. I want to see.
When Brandon Graham, they just briefly mentioned Brandon Graham's out. So after they mentioned, they didn't ever follow up on that or anything. I don't think he was in the rest of the game. At least I don't remember. But I mean, look, it's good. It's bad to have injuries, but at least we have like a half a bye week to recover and get some of these guys back. We got a long stretch before we play, so that's really good for us. But it was a physical game, man. It was a physical game, and the Eagles brought it. They brought it, baby. They brought it. 5-1. That's all I know.
Dude, Mac Hollins is fine.
Yeah, it looked like a cramp to me.
You're spot on. That's exactly what it was.
Because they were stretching him out. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, the reason why I thought you were like looking at his knee.
Is your face? Is the head gonna fly away?
I don't know.
Gonna fly away?
It was ungluing.
Yeah, I bet it was after tonight.
This guy's got powers. He's like ungluing it with his eyes.
Yeah, it's like, we got to go against the satanic Cowboys, but we got our holy man right there. He's taking it, right?
Ginger Jesus to take on the devil of Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys.
That's right. I'm going to smoke one of these for him tonight. Victory cigar for everybody.
There you go, baby.
Man, what a win. What a game. All right. That's a hard-fought game.
All right, so I'll bring up the topic now, and we'll get back to the game maybe a little bit later. But see, this is the thing that I'm curious about, to see where this team goes next, because you now have, 10 days off? Is it 10 days, 11 days off before your next game? It's a Monday night game. You're 5-1. You just beat Carolina. You just showed the world that you're for real. Now you're going to hear for 10 days how great you are. Are they going to come out flat Monday night?
There's no excuse to come out flat. They should not come out flat Monday night.
The reason why they might not is because it's Washington and they know how important the game is. If this was like another opponent, if it was another opponent, they might lose. I said in my preview, I think they would lose, and now because I saw Wentz play tonight, I think they're going to win. But it concerns me. I don't see. People might think that this might be a blowout. I don't think it's going to be like that.
No, I think it's going to be a tough game. I think it's going to be a tough game. But because they get enough time off and it's Monday night, so the world's watching, and everybody's going to want to see this team play after coming off this big win because they're going to get a lot of press from now until then. So I think they should be ready. To me, there's no excuse to not be ready for that game. If you beat Washington, I mean, dude, if you beat Washington, you realize that you've got 2 games on them. You're 6-1. You have 2 games on the second place team. The Cowboys lost Elliott for 6 games. You win this game, you put a stranglehold this early in the division. I mean, look, we got to get a number 1 or number 2 seed. I'm thinking the sky's the limit here.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, maybe I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, whatever. Well, hey, you know what? It's when you're 5-1, and then let's say you go to 6-1, you beat the Redskins, and you have that kind of lead in the division, you have to get a top 2 seed. Barring injury or something, you got to get a top 2 seed.
I'll tell you what. If they win their next 2 games, I'll start talking about it. Until then, I'd like, you know, like I want to take this one game at a time for now. But like I am also so damn hopeful because watch out NFC because this team is just so versatile. They can do so many things offensively. They didn't exactly do the 4-minute drive tonight, but they have it in the bag. I mean, you can run it inside, you can run it outside, you can throw it on all 3 levels because Wentz is amazing. So, but if they go and win their next 2 games, and they're 7-1 heading into the bye, I'm going to start looking at Green Bay. I'm going to start looking at Seattle and all these other teams, and I'm going to start scoreboard watching. I'm going to be like, okay, because Green Bay and Seattle are the 2 teams to me that I don't feel comfortable playing in a playoff game. But everybody else, I'm cool with. I mean, Atlanta, I don't think we could go to Atlanta and win. Maybe not. I know we killed them at home last year, but that's a different Atlanta team since. I mean, obviously they got to a Super Bowl. But if this team has a home field advantage, I think they have a shot against Seattle. I don't know about Green Bay. I think Green Bay matches up very well against us. I would just hope that they lose to somebody. But if it's, you know, it's interesting.
No, it's really interesting. I'm probably drinking a little more to you because I'm kind of thinking.
Drink away. Drink away. Drink away because of this guy.
Because of that guy. Because to me, this was the game. If they win this game, then I'm going to start thinking that way. Because you went up against a 4-1 team on the road. Okay, a team that went to New England and beat New England, beat Detroit. I think that the Eagles do not lose to anybody at home in the playoffs. Seattle, Green Bay, and Atlanta going on the road would be tough. But if you could get home field advantage, you have a shot. Because I don't think those teams would be great on the road in Philly. I think they're all beatable. Probably Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers scares me more than anybody.
Yes.
Because he can just go off. And he's dangerous. So he would probably scare me most. Seattle always seems to get tough at the end of the year.
Yes.
And Atlanta, to me, I think they're going to struggle all year because I just think that the way they lost that Super Bowl, it takes something out of you. So I'm there, but we got to beat Redskins. I mean, that's the thing. You can look, but you got to be.
See, that's what I'm worried about. We're looking ahead. See, we're not
playing either. So.
well, the players might be looking ahead. You know, we don't know. We're about to find out what this team. You know, this is another test for them. It's been a constant test all year, and they keep passing them, except the Kansas City game. And they lost that game because of Doug Peterson. They should be 6-0, but they're not. So, yeah, the next test is overcoming everyone saying how great you are. Because coming into this game, we were getting disrespected. It was the other way around, right? Everyone picked against the Eagles. I didn't pick against the Eagles. I picked the Eagles. Did you pick the Eagles?
I picked the Eagles.
So you see, we're smart. See, we knew. We know the potential of this team. This team right here in Philadelphia. We know. Are you still there? Did I lose you? All right. So as you try to sign back in, all right. So here's what I'll say. So like, yeah, okay. You there? Did I lose you, Philly?
What the heck?
All right. Tell you what. You there? You're just like really slow.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh. Just keep talking. Can you talk at all?
Yeah.
Do you hear me?
Yeah. I hear you
Okay.
now. Now I hear you. You went out for a second.
Oh, all right. So it was on my end.
No, I don't know whose. It probably was on my end. I don't know whose end. I just know that I didn't hear you, and then I heard you.
Okay. So So what was I talking about? Okay. So the next test for this team, the next test is, overcoming all this. Now you're the heavy favorite, right? It's a different feel now, and that's what I'm kind of trying to get to. Is this Carolina game, you're getting disrespected. People didn't know how good you are. Now everyone knows. And now you're going to have Washington coming in here. And the next test is to beat this team and not start looking ahead. You really need to truly take this one game at a time.
True, yeah. You do. You have to take it one game at a time. You have to be ready each week because anything can happen. And it will be a test because they're going to hear, they're going to read, they're going to hear a lot about how great they are. And that's true. But you got to think a guy like Carson, as mature as he seems, will be able to handle it. But that will be a test. How do they come out against the Redskins? How do they look against the Redskins, and are they ready to go? It's something we don't know because they haven't been here before. We can speculate. I think they'll be okay. We won't know until they play. But look, you got a little bye. Hopefully they get rested, they get healthy, and they'll be ready to go. We won't know until they play.
And it's going to be a long 10 days, dude. Or whatever. Is it 11 days? I don't even know. Let's say 1, 2, 3. It is 10 days.
Yeah, it's going to be – when you get to next Thursday and Friday, you're going to be like, I want to watch the Eagles. Then you're going to go through all Sunday.
And actually, it's 11 days. By God, they play on Monday nights.
They play Monday night, yeah.
Oh,
and you're going to be waiting all
you got to
Sunday.
wait until the end of next week. That's a long time of hearing how great you are and how much your shit don't stink.
Dude, they're going to get killed 52-0.
The next test, easy for me to say. The next test. There we go.
Look, the thing about it is, this quarterback continues to impress me. I mean, you have an elite franchise quarterback. No matter what happens, this is only his second year. I mean, this is his second year. He ain't even full second year. This is what? It's week 5, 6, and he's playing like this already? You got something very special here. And no matter what happens this year, next year, and the next 10 years are going to be fantastic. So just buckle in, get ready to enjoy it. And just enjoy the moment. Enjoy the process of this whole thing because this is exciting. This is, to me, this is the night that the Eagles are on people's radar now, that Carson Wentz will get respect. This will be something in 2 or 3 years we will talk about this game. I believe that. I believe that.
Wow. What a freaking effort. It was a complete team win tonight. It really was. And, I love that the defense stepped up after Wentz missed that read. That was like the one thing that I could really nitpick on today, and that's okay. It's a learning experience. Now, someone said to me on Twitter he didn't have enough time to look at his other options. That's not the point. He should have made it pre-snap. If you look, there was no one on Aguilar. Nobody at all. He had his eyes on Ertz the entire time. Jeffrey was open, too, on this play on a slant. And he just missed it was the wrong read. Now, it was a tougher throw to Ertz. Probably maybe should have caught it. But I'm on Wentz for that because of the read. And that's something we'll break down on our film study. I'm sure Brendan will say the same thing.
Yeah, and I would be interested to hear what Brendan has to say on that because I mean, you could see Wentz went over to the sideline. He was looking at the tablet and he was looking at the play, and you could see by his expression and his reaction that I missed one here. You could see that clear as day. So yeah, it's on him, But look, those are the kind of things that are going to happen. When he's a 4, 5, 6 year vet, he'll be able to know what the blitz are coming, where the ball has to go, way before,
Hell, he'll learn next week. He'll have it figured out by next week.
Yeah, exactly. He'll be figuring it out over the next 10 days. That's for sure. So, yeah.
This guy. I love this guy. I love it. Where's that other guy?
I'll tell you another guy to talk about. There's another guy.
Yeah,
Jake Elliott can't miss a field goal to save his life. He can't miss it if he tried to miss it.
Ever since Jason
right down the middle.
laid down the lumber and was laid down the law, Jake Elliott can't miss.
Yeah. I feel like we're like talking about like people from the Bible. Jake, Carson, Nigel, like a bunch of prophets,
Well, we have Ginger Jesus.
There you go.
We have him. Think about how this happened.
How long did it take you to cut out that head?
Oh, I got this at the NFL draft party.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I got it at an NFL draft party. The Philly Influencer had one a couple years ago. Shout out to my boy Eagle Sessions, Gail Saunders. He made these cutouts. He made this. And I also took one of these and I put Voided on it.
I love it.
Because this guy doesn't have what it takes. He's better this year, but no. We have Ginger Jesus. Cleveland screwed up. They screwed up. Now they have Deshaun Kaiser. I'm sure they're going to pick another one next year. So they're going to be on to 172 quarterbacks since 1999. And in that span, we've had Donovan McNabb and this guy, Carson Wentz, Ginger Jesus, and the Rams and Jeff Fisher and his dingbat chose this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was scared. I was like, oh, they're going to take Carson. I know they're going to take Carson. Screw us. That's what I thought was going to happen. But it didn't happen. Now, if you're Cleveland and you're a Cleveland fan, you got to be so sick watching this guy tonight. Can you imagine if that was the Eagles and you're watching after they did what they did and passed on Ben Roethlisberger? Can you imagine? My gosh, I feel bad for them, man. I feel bad, but I don't. Because you're a dingbat to not take this kid. You have to be a dingbat, I'm sorry, to not take this kid. This kid is a elite franchise quarterback. Exactly. He's exactly what I thought he would be. Everything I thought about him has come true. And maybe even faster than I thought.
I'm going to screen record at like a old show. Because I remember like the draft, when this guy got selected, I think I was talking like October, November about quarterbacks. And I was like, there's this kid in the second round that I want to take out of North Dakota State. His name is Carson Wentz. And the reason why I said that was because at the time I was with a place called the Sports Network. And we covered a lot of FCS football. We were sponsored by the FCS. We handled their poll rankings for the FCS at the time. They got bought out by Stats LLC and the company moved to Chicago. But, we're covering the FCS. I'm covering the NFL. I'm covering Super Bowls. And I'm watching this guy. And I'm like, this kid is special. And this was when nobody knew who the fuck he was. And they were targeting him in the second round. And I was just like, oh, and Mike and I were both praising this kid. And Mike Owens, if you guys are new to the Bitter Birds, he and I founded this, and we kept looking at this kid and like we wanted him so bad, and then the process happened, and we're like, oh my God, we're not going to get him because he had that combine. He just wowed everybody. He wowed Mike Mayock, and if you wow Mike Mayock, that says something. And by God, Howie Roseman, he did it. And this would have never happened had Chip Kelly not traded LaShawn McCoy. Think about that, too.
That's very hard to think of because what you're telling us is that we had to go through a lot of dingbats, a lot of suffering to get to this point. So in the end, it was worth it, but it was hard, And in my opinion, this is what a lot of teams that never win anything, this is the problem they make. They're always mediocre. They never get better. They never make the sacrifice, whether it's trading up or having a bad season and losing. You have to go through things like that to get to this point. And that's why it's so much sweeter when you go through these years of losing, then you get this. I mean, we're talking about 10 years. We're looking at 10 years of top-notch football playoffs, contention every year for Super Bowl. I mean, that's where we're going. And to me, tonight is the launch of that. Tonight is when nationally everybody knows that that's where the Eagles are. This is a special night. To me, this was a special night because it was national TV, and this was one of the games that I thought if the Eagles could win and he could go in there and outperform Cam, and just even as a whole team and win, you're looking at the ascension of the Philadelphia Eagles, and I believe that that's what we saw.
Our topic on the Bitter Dingbats, what we're going to do is we're going to look 6 weeks through the season. This team, and this guy, and we're going to compare it to the 2000 team. We're going to see where we're at after 6 weeks and kind of look. I think that's a good topic.
I love that topic.
This team reminds me of the 2000 team. Obviously, you had the number 2 overall pick. You drafted Donovan McNabb. Andy Reid was in his second season. And, Donovan sort of made an ascension in his second year. All right, we'll save that for the Dingbats. So
Yeah, because there's a lot to say about that because it's a little bit different. But it was the night of that Giant game that where it's going to lead to is the same things were being asked of him, the same type of things. And that was a big moment to really, if you look at their history, people always talk about that moment that they finally beat the Giants. So it's very similar in my opinion.
Yeah.
Wow, what a win! What a win, man! I don't know how I'm gonna.
And guess what? What a move by Howie Rose.
What a move by Howie Roseman. Yeah, really. I mean, I think I'm gonna have to play that for the rest of the week. What a move, because he deserves it. You got to give him credit for that move. I don't like all his other moves that he makes. But you got to give him credit for that because that was ballsy. That was real ballsy, and it's going to pay dividends. It's going to pay dividends. I can't believe we got a quarterback like this.
We have this guy.
I know. It's
I'm going to be waving his head all season long. I'm going to be waving this guy's head all season long as the Rams fall out of contention. Voided. Now, Sean McVay is doing a hell of a job with this guy.
Yes.
But, I can only imagine what he'd do with this guy. But that's okay. We have Doug Peterson.
Hey, look, you got to give Doug credit. He gets these guys ready to play. That's the one thing that you can say. They're ready to play every game so far. So the test about Washington, that's, we're going to find out this week. We're going to find out. Yeah. But man, I tell you, this is one of those nights where I don't know how you calm down from this because that was something special. That pass to Alshon, and he caught it, and then you get the Aguilar touchdown. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe this kid had 3 touchdowns. The kid had 3 touchdowns. All the hitting, all the beating he took, he still comes up with 3 touchdowns. I mean, that's a hell of a game. It's a hell of the kid, and I'm just so impressed with this quarterback. I really am. I'm impressed with this team. But I believe it all starts with him. All right.
Let me take a look at the box score. And then we'll kind of do final thoughts. We're already like 40 minutes in. So it's crazy.
I just thought it's been on for like 5 minutes.
I just looked. I think we started at like 12.
What's up, everybody out there? You doing?
Yeah, we got about 200 people on here right now. So.
Oh yeah, 200. What's up, everybody? How you doing? Subscribe to Bitter Birds. Subscribe to Philly 500. We got you. We'll take you.
What's your Twitter? People need to follow you on Twitter. I don't think people know that you have a Twitter. So.
Yeah, I have a Twitter too at YoPhilly500.
There you go.
My wife yells at me all the time. She says I don't put hashtags. What the hell is a hashtag?
Hashtag Ginger Jesus. That's what she's trying to tell you. After Carson Wentz makes a great play, hashtag Ginger Jesus. Hashtag Fly Eagles Fly. Hashtag Voided. Hashtag this team. Get the point?
I'm going to stay up all night and listen to him preach. There's YouTube videos of him preaching. You know that? I think I'm going to go listen to Ginger Jesus. He might have something good to say.
What an amazing we have this guy on our team, and I cannot believe it. I am so happy right now. This team is going to be contending for Super Bowls for 10 years, and we're going to win one. Damn it, we're going to fucking win.
Oh, this kid's going to win a couple. I have no doubt about it. I believe he wins a couple Super Bowls easy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. All right, box score. Let's take a look. Now you look at the numbers. They might again. They don't look great for Wentz, but I think the way he handled the pressure and the way he handled everything, and besides the one read, besides a couple of throws that kind of got away in the first half, he really led him in the second half. So 16 to 30, 222, 3 touchdowns, but no interceptions. And that's the key between he and Cam Newton tonight, because Newton threw 3 of them. Newton threw 52 passes because Carolina was one-dimensional. They couldn't run the ball. So 3.2 average for Carolina running the football, but guess what? 11 for 71 for Cam Newton. 14 for 9 for everybody else. And that's Christian McCaffrey, 4 for 8. Jonathan Stewart, 8 carries, -4 yards. Fozzie Whittaker, carry for -3 before he left the game. Curtis Samuel, 1 for 8. And I think that might have been on like a misdirection, like jet sweep, I believe, if I remember correctly. So if that was the play that Chris Long came to upfield, maybe, I think that was it. And then you look at the Eagles side of things. LeGarrette Blount, 14 for 67, 4.8 average. I'll take a look at this game again. I don't know if it's going to be tonight or tomorrow. I still got to write a recap on this game. By God, it's already 12:45. And then Jeffrey, if he would have had the catch, he would have been over 100, and he should have caught that ball. 4 for 71. Nelson Aguilar, 4 for 55 and a touchdown. Once again, your MIA Nelson Aguilar videos have to be put on hold, unfortunately. They're on hold. Kelvin Benjamin, 9 for 99. He kind of did what he wanted to do. He had a good game. Christian McCaffrey, they utilized him out of the backfield. He led the Panthers coming in receptions, 10 more receptions tonight, which led the team for 56 yards, had an easy touchdown. So you can see where he can be utilized in the passing game, because they can't run the ball at all, Carolina, with that offensive line. They're just struggling run blocking. They have that hashtag keep pounding, but the only team that was pounding tonight was the Eagles. And the only one that was pounding tonight was Fletcher Cox. Deep penetration.
Dude, they could not run the ball on the Eagles. I mean, it was like automatic loss of yards. You knew every time they ran, they were going to lose yards. Every drive, it was like 2nd and 12, 2nd and 14, 2nd and 13. The interior of that defensive line for the Eagles was dominant. And just to think that guy was a game time decision, and he deserves a lot of credit, because that was a big time player playing in a big time moment, you know. And Zach Ertz had 2 touchdowns. Let's not forget. Yeah. The Ertz had 2 big touchdowns. He didn't disappear. Man, a lot of guys really stepping up, man. I really want to go back and look at this game again, because there's a lot of guys I want to take a look at more than I had during the game live, you know. Yeah. All right.
We'll kind of get into final thoughts now, since we're so into this, and I still got to write this recap, so I do have to get off here and write it. And by God, I'm like exhausted, but that's okay. I'll write it. It's already 1 o'clock. By God, Philly. What's your final thought?
My final thoughts are the ascension of the Eagles has begun. The moment in the history when we go back and look at Carson Wentz era, we're going to look at the night in Carolina when the Eagles showed they were for real, and that they were here, and that they had a quarterback. And people are always going to think of this game as his breakout game. Even though it might not be his breakout game, it's going to be viewed that way because of the night he had. And I think that we got to see something special. And I'm just so excited to see what happens the rest of the way.
Well said. Well said. Hashtag this guy. Hashtag Ginger Jesus. Hashtag Fly Eagles Fly. And hopefully one day we can say hashtag Super Bowl champions. That is all. Good night. What a win. Hashtag this team. We won.